Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, we have new information about the lost cargo ship, the El Faro.
New developments in the Russian Metrojet flight that crashed in the Sinai Desert.
And temperatures in the 70s this week. Citrus TV weather reporter Brittany Muller will be live in studio to tell us about this warm trend.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6 for Monday, November 2nd, 2015. I'm Michael Tricarico in for Topher Lane.
And I'm Claire Moran, and here are tonight's top stories. The cargo ship, the El Faro, that sunk a month ago, has been found. A search team located wreckage 15,000 feet below sea level off the coast of the Bahamas. The 790-foot ship disappeared on October 1st during Hurricane Joaquin. There were 33 crew members on board. The Navy used a remote-operated submarine with a video camera to identify the ship. Today, SU launched a new system called the Orange Survey to better understand experiences of undergraduate students. This survey is part of the Student Academic Success Initiative and was sent out to students via email. Survey questions focus on academic, financial, and social experiences of undergrads. The survey is being used as a tool to figure out what will help make students most successful on campus.
For the second year, SU College of Law graduates exceeded the New York State bar exam average. The July 2015 exam results reveal that more than 80% of SU Law School graduates passed the test. These results place the College of Law more than 4 points above the median of the 79% pass rate. Interim Dean William Banks congratulated the graduates on their success and says the pass rate reflects how ready the students are for their careers. And if you want a preview of the Syracuse men's basketball season, then head over to the Carrier Dome tonight to watch the Orange take on crosstown rival Lemoyne College. This is the first of two exhibition games of the season for Syracuse. Citrus TV Sports' Ariel Epstein will be here later on in the show to talk more about expectations for the game. And on the topic of SU athletics, the Carrier Dome hasn't been seeing the same amount of fans for football games as they would for basketball. Citrus TV reporter Maria Cinti tells us how SU plans on hiking those numbers back up.
The Syracuse University football team and athletic committees on campus are facing the ultimate dilemma. Despite the SU football team's improvement from last season, the attendance at home games has plummeted. In fact, Syracuse University football has the second biggest drop in attendance among the Power 5 teams this season.
They haven't been announcing attendance at all since, I think, the second or third home game, and that's just because it's so bad.
Several fans believe the decline in attendance stems from the football team's image and win-loss record.
Right now, the general consensus on campus is we're just a mediocre football team. So when you have a mediocre team, you don't really need to go.
Now, despite the dramatic decrease in attendance at SU football games this year, the Syracuse University Athletics Department and Otto's Army are taking very specific initiatives in order to increase these numbers for next year's season. The SU Athletics Department has decided to kickstart the Cuse Fan Council, a group of SU athletics fans who will meet once a month to discuss ways the athletics department can connect with the outer community. Cunningham says attendance will likely be a hot topic for discussion.
And I think a lot of our conversation is going to be about how we can improve that environment, because we know that that environment directly relates to wins and losses.
And with the same goals in mind, Otto's Army has appeared at events catered towards freshmen in order to get SU students hooked to athletics from the start.
Because if you get them hooked on wanting to go to the games as a freshman, they're going to keep on coming back no matter what.
The SU Athletics Department and Otto's Army hope their initiatives will help increase attendance for next year's football season. I'm Maria Cinti, Citrus TV News.
A rise in DPS emails has left many students concerned about their safety. Nick Papantonis spoke to one student who sent an email to the chancellor with the community's concerns.
Over the past month, Syracuse students have received email after email warning of crimes and safety concerns on and around the campus area. This prompted Department of Public Safety Chief Bobby Maldonado to hold a press conference addressing students' fears that crime is increasing near campus.
We actually work hand in hand with the Syracuse Police Department. For every officer we put out, they put out. and that swells our numbers from 8 patrols to as many as 22 patrols.
Maldonado explained that the number of crimes is about the same as in recent years, but the department is reporting them more often. But every email about a robbery or sexual assault puts students on edge. 2 weeks ago, glow sticks lined Comstock Avenue with tips about staying safe, and Megan Minier, a junior in the I school, sent an open letter to the chancellor with her concerns.
I wanted the administration to publicly inform students of what was going on, sort of a heightened transparency.
I'm standing on Lancaster Avenue, close to where several of the attacks happened. Students are concerned that not only are the attacks getting more frequent, they're also getting more personal.
The crime is getting closer and closer, and it's not your traditional break-ins, you know, someone's computer got stolen. Even though those are happening still, they're more victimized.
This is a crime map showing recent major events in the area. Minier's email was prompted by reports of 2 sexual assaults, one on Comstock Avenue and another on South Krause Avenue. There were also a string of alleged attacks by teenagers on Lancaster Avenue and the manhunt in Oakwood Cemetery that put campus on lockdown. Maldonado encourages students to use the LiveSafe app, which DPS monitors.
And it basically is a virtual blue light phone in the hands of every student.
And while not all crime can be stopped, he says many crimes can be prevented by locking doors, walking in groups, and using common sense at night. For Citrus TV News, I'm Nick Papantonis.
Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, President Obama was in New Jersey today to discuss prison reform.
And aviation officials are now saying that MetroJet 9268 broke apart midair. We'll have more on that, along with news from around the world, up next. Stay tuned.
It was a beautiful, warm, and sunny fall day today. We'll expect some showers later on this week. I'll have your full weather forecast when Citrus TV returns.
Another season of Orange basketball excitement will be here soon. Wisconsin, North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Pittsburgh are all due in the Dome. Will you be there when this happens?
One, let it go, hits!
Will you be there when Dish happens? Will you be there when Swish happens? And Coach Q wants you there as well, as the women's team looks for its 4th straight NCAA tournament berth. Season tickets are on sale now at the Carrier Dome box office, Cuse.com, and 1-888-DOME-TICKS.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Jimmy can't sing,
and Tommy can't dance,
so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Police in Pennsylvania and Minnesota are currently investigating reports of needle-type objects in Halloween candy. Authorities were alerted Saturday about 5 children receiving these tampered treats. No injuries have been reported. Police are advising anyone with leftover candy to examine it for foreign objects before eating. And President Obama is in New Jersey today to discuss prison reform. The president announced a new program that will put millions of dollars into funding education and rehabilitation programs for former inmates. Obama also asked Congress to create legislation to remove questions on federal job applications about an applicant's criminal record. The Supreme Court looks at racial bias in the jury selection process today. The court will consider a case in Georgia where prosecutors allegedly picked an all-white jury in the murder trial of an African-American man. The defendant has now spent almost 30 years on death row. His lawyer will speak on his behalf in front of the justices. The Supreme Court is expected to issue a decision by June of next year.
Airline executives say they're investigating an external influence as the cause of a plane crash in Egypt on Saturday. The Russian passenger flight was going to St. Petersburg from a resort in Egypt. Officials say 23 minutes into the flight, the aircraft broke into multiple pieces and hit the ground. The plane crashed in the Sinai Desert, where Islamic militants have been fighting with Egyptian security forces. All 224 passengers on board Flight 9268 were killed. There are big changes in Turkey tonight. In the country's parliamentary election, the Justice and Development Party, also known as the AKP, has won the majority. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a member of the AKP and says the vote shows the nation's want for stability. The AKP won more than 49% of the vote, making them the sole majority in parliament. The president says the win should send a message to Kurdish insurgents that violence cannot coexist with democracy. The U.S. is targeting Syrian territory that ISIS has claimed for more than a year. The Syrian Democratic Forces have begun to liberate areas of the Hasaka province occupied by ISIS. Kurdish forces also attacked the province near the Iraqi-Syrian border with coalition airstrikes and land offensives. Officials say they believe the next step is to seize the town of Sinjar from ISIS, which would affect other nearby cities the terrorist organization holds. Warm weather is in the forecast for this week, and Citrus TV weather reporter Brittany Muller is live in studio to tell us more. Brittany?
Yeah, Claire, warm temperatures will be in our forecast. Today was a very warm day out. The high was 59 degrees, which is 5 degrees warmer than the average for this time of year, which is 54. Winds are out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Tonight, things will cool down a little bit, 43 degrees, clear skies. Winds will be about 4 degrees. Taking a look at the current surface temperatures across the country, you can see some sunshine throughout this area. Chicago sitting at 69 degrees. Seattle further west is about 52 degrees. And now looking at the current surface temperatures, we could see a low pressure system going through the southeast region of the country. You can see this will bring in some rain as well as some stormy weather and some strong winds. And taking a look at the Intellicast radar, you can see New York with fairly clear skies. We're experiencing the nice weather that we have, but further south in the southeast region that I was talking about earlier, you can see the storms in the area as well as in Canada, and you can see this storm right here is bringing even some snow. So back here in Syracuse, tomorrow will be a bright and sunny day all day. Temperatures in the high 70s and low 70s, and it'll feel like 67, sunny. The humidity will be about 62%. And here's your look at the weather for the week. Again, Tuesday high 60s, Wednesday 71, Thursday 69, and Friday 67 degrees with some showers in the afternoon, and Saturday 50 degrees with some morning showers.
So, Brittany, it looks like we have a lovely week ahead of us, but it is November in Syracuse. Does this mean it's going to get super cold after this week? Am I going to get my hopes up and then they be totally dashed?
Probably, yes. So we're going to have these nice warm temperatures this week, but next week we're going to dive down and be more in the 60s and the 50s.
Sorry to hear that. Well, thank you, Brittany.
Thanks, Brittany. Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, we're on the road to the 2016 election with news from GOP and Republican candidate Marco Rubio.
And Chipotle has closed nearly 50 restaurants out west. We'll tell you why.
Stick around.
October 14th, Syracuse University was notified of an off-campus incident via Orange Alert. Just moments after the event, Citrus TV News was already bringing you new information on Periscope and social media. Then we brought nearly an hour and a half of live streaming coverage to students on and off campus via the web. Our own Hunter Sines was at the scene near the shooting, sending us live images of the area under investigation. The following day, reporters were live with the full story. With full team coverage, we kept SU informed with the latest, most accurate information possible. We really are your campus news leader.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
GOP presidential campaigns are now getting a say in how debates will be run from now on. The Republican National Committee is letting the 15 presidential campaigns call the shots on how the debates will go from now on after the CNBC debate last week caused frustration among candidates. Campaign managers have agreed that each campaign from here on out should last only 2 hours and should allow each candidate 30 seconds for opening and closing statements. These will require approval for all on-screen graphics during the debate and will require that the candidates have equal speaking time. And a leading Republican fundraiser, Paul Singer, is now endorsing Marco Rubio in his bid for the presidency. This is a major boost for the Florida senator's campaign. Singer praised Rubio for his position on higher education and welfare reform. He also said Rubio is the best candidate positioned to defeat Hillary Clinton. Singer is likely to make a big contribution to one of the groups allied with Rubio's campaign. An E. coli outbreak has caused Chipotle to close 43 of its restaurants in Washington state and Oregon. Health department officials are currently investigating 20 cases of E. coli. This includes people who ate at 6 of the chain's restaurants in the area. 8 people have been hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported.
In other news from the Pacific Northwest, the Oregon Health Department says a teenage girl is in the ICU recovering from a case of the bubonic plague. Health officials believe she got the disease from an infected flea during a hunting trip earlier this month. The teenager was hospitalized on October 24th. The plague generally comes from rural areas in the western U.S. This year, there have been 15 other cases of the bubonic plague in America. Scientology is back in the spotlight once again. Actress Leah Remini has spoken out against the Church of Scientology, and now the church is retaliating. Remini left the church in 2013 and recently wrote a memoir on her experience. She says that one critical comment she made about Scientologist Tom Cruise got her into trouble with the church. However, the church said Remini was expelled, and she is now spreading myths about Scientology. Taylor Swift is being sued for $42 million for allegedly stealing lyrics in her popular song, Shake It Off. R&B singer Jesse Bram says Swift stole the words from a song he wrote in 2013 called Haters Gonna Hate. On top of the money, Bram wants his name added as a writer on the song. Shake It Off topped music charts around the world and has been watched more than 1 billion times on YouTube. Representatives for Swift have yet to comment on the case.
As always, another busy weekend in sports. SU football took the field in Tallahassee, the World Series is now over, and the New York Giants scored the second highest points in the NFL. This week, all that and more when we come back.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Okay. It was on basketball.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Syracuse football is back on the road. The team went to Tallahassee this weekend to take on the Florida State Seminoles. The sun was shining, but not on the orange. Let's take a look at the highlights. Yep, we are in Tallahassee, the Tomahawk Chop, but we're going to skip to the third quarter where Sean McGuire passes to Travis Rudolph for a touchdown. That would make it 35-14 FSU in the third. But now let's skip to the fourth quarter where Jaquez rushed for 28 yards for a touchdown along the sideline, 42-14 FSU at the start of the fourth. FSU will finally give Syracuse a little bit of a chance. Brisley Esteem returns this punt for a 59-yard touchdown run, 45-21 FSU, but that would not be enough. Syracuse leaves the field with their fifth straight loss. After back-to-back losses on the road, SU's women's volleyball team came back home and turned things around. The team beat Georgia Tech in an exciting 5 sets on Friday and went on to face Clemson on Sunday. Starting lineups being announced for Syracuse, but second set here, a kill by Gosha Vlastak, 11-4 SU in the second set, SU's 6th consecutive kill. The third set now, a service ace by Clemson's Keely Arneson. They would go on to win the second set 25-22. Fourth set now, an attack error by Leah Perry. SU wins the fourth set 25-18 and wins the match 3-1. The Syracuse women's soccer team season ended on Saturday. 5 seniors were honored, but the Orange 3-game winning streak was on the line against 6th-ranked Clemson. Some senior day footage here, but let's just get right to the action. A header goal by Clemson, Jenna Weston, an assist by Samantha Staub on a long cross. Clemson leads 1-0. Clemson's set piece leads to a header shot by Abby Jones, but a save by SU's Courtney Brosnan. 5 minutes remain in the first half. This play's a little crazy right now. The corner kick, then Jessica Vigna with the header shot, but it's saved, and then Alexis Covell with a block shot. 4 minutes remain in the game, but Syracuse could not score. 1-0. Clemson is your final. Well, speaking of offense, that's about all we saw in the Giants-Saints game yesterday, on Sunday. The two teams combined to score the third most points in NFL history with a total of 101. It wasn't all one-sided either. The final score was a close 52-49, with the Saints winning it on a 50-yard field goal as time expired. Eli Manning threw for 350 yards with 6 touchdowns, but Saints quarterback Drew Brees stole the show. He threw for a career-high 511 yards and 7 touchdowns. Unfortunately for the Giants, it was another heartbreaking loss, setting them back to 500 with a 4-4 record, but Big Blue is still holding on to first place in the NFC East. And I guess you can say it was a weekend of heartbreaks in New York, but I promise this is the last one. Game 5 of the World Series took place in Queens at Citi Field, and heading into the 9th inning, it looked promising that the Mets were going to force the series back to Kansas City. Mets ace Matt Harvey pitched shutout baseball going into the 9th, but after a leadoff walk and a double, the Royals were on the board, and Harvey was just a spectator. Familia blew his 3rd save of the series, making it tied at 2 at the end of the 9th, and the Royals went on to rally in the 12th to win 7-2 and take the title.
And here's where sports are great. It gets really good now because who was the last batter in last year's Game 7 leaving the tying run on third? Well, the answer is the same guy who won this year's MVP award, Salvador Perez.
Ariel, baseball season over, basketball starting up. What are you most looking forward to for the Syracuse basketball season?
Well, with Michael Benajay now starting as the point guard, and it was just announced by Boeheim a few weeks ago, it's going to be a whole new veteran presence for Syracuse, whereas last year it was just freshmen leading the team. So it should be an exciting new season for SU.
All right, thank you very much.
And here's what's coming up on OTN after Citrus TV News live at 6. We'll be right back.
If you see news happening on campus in Syracuse or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom at 315-443-1177 or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Staring contest!
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
So, Brittany, what do we wear when we make up tomorrow morning?
Throw on a pair of jeans, boots, a sweater, and you'll be good to go because we'll be in the 70s tomorrow.
All right, great. And Brittany, maybe you could follow in this Oklahoma weatherman's footsteps who gave a whole new meaning to take your child to work day. Aaron Brackett brought his 1-week-old son, Caden, to one of his weather forecasts this weekend. Take a listen to this.
I think I need a little help with this forecast here. Want to help me out? It's baby Caden, only just over a week old. This is his first weathercast, so we're going to go through this thing here.
Brackett forecasted sunny skies and told Caden that he would teach him about sunshine someday, but hearing about foggy driving conditions was a little too much for baby Caden, and he started to cry. Brackett seamlessly moved him off the set.
I know, fog is not our favorite thing. Fog is not the best, right? 75 degrees for tomorrow, plentiful sunshine, absolutely gorgeous weather across OKC.
And that is adorable. But that is all the time we have for Citrus TV News Live at 6 tonight. Sorry we didn't have any 1-week-old babies, but Orange Press Pass is coming up next. I'm Claire Moran.
And I'm Michael Tricarico, filling in for Topher Lane. Have a great night, Syracuse.